Good morning. I just wanted to talk a little bit today about everything is a learning experience and there's no waste in God's world. So that has totally been my experience. And actually this morning when I was in the shower, I was listening to some stuff and it reminded me of this idea of that even my failures, which is failure even a thing? First of all, there's the line of thought that failure is not even a thing. It's just a learning experience. And then there's the other one that is failure is actually just another stepping stone to where you need to get to. Like there's some lesson that needed to be learned so that way you could get to where you need to be going. So in either way, it's not such, it is what it is. Anyway, so I was thinking about all of the experiences and learning experiences and I was like, oh, I'm an expert. It's like, what have you thought that you failed at, right? So it's like you actually became an expert on what you didn't do right or what you didn't do that was in alignment with your soul, right? So I became an expert. I'm an expert on how how to be inauthentic. Like I know exactly how to be inauthentic. I also know the consequences of that. I became an expert on consequences of being inauthentic. I became an expert on how not to parent your children. I became an expert on how to not be successful at a job, right? They actually expect you to work, right? Anyway, so like these are things in my life that I became an expert on, like how not to treat friends, right? If I haven't been treating people right, how not to talk to myself, how not to treat myself, right? I became an expert on how to like not do these things because I've had so much failure in like every single one of these areas. Okay, so then healing takes place and then I become more, I don't know if it's an expert, but I become more of a person that's proficient in all of these areas, right? So now I'm authentic. I'm way more authentic than I have ever been. Definitely would, if I was going on a date, I would definitely be way more authentic. I'd be totally more connected to myself and it has been like, experiences have been so much more that I've been connected. And I'm a good mother today. I'm a great mom today and my kids are connected and hi everybody that's watching. And I've become and I'm a better friend. And so all of these things that I've had tremendous failures at, it's like, oh, well the thing is it's actually being used. There's no waste in God's world. Even my college degree, which I'm not even really using, has totally been useful to me because of things that I've learned along the way. By the way, what came up is I took journalism in college, and I just want to say this because I stopped watching the news like a while ago. And when I was in journalism class, they actually told us that the reason, like, you need to make stuff on the news that is life-threatening so that way people will watch. So I just want to say that it completely keeps you in fight or flight. So I also don't watch the news, and if there's any kind of peace and light that you want to bring into the world, into your own life, I suggest that you do the same, although you don't have to. Everything is a learning experience, How does it make you feel after you watch the news? And so, so everything is a learning experience. Where in your life are you being so hard on yourself? Like you made the same exact mistake again and again and again, and you're like cursing yourself out. Like, how can I do that? How can I have done that? Guess what? It's a learning experience. Some learning experiences have more intense consequences than other learning experiences, but it doesn't make it less of a learning experience. It's like if it wasn't so personal, if I was looking from a third person perspective, it's like, well, this is what my soul needed to go through so I can experience the consequences so that way I could become an expert on how not to do something, so therefore I could become more proficient in doing the thing that I need to do or doing the thing that aligns with my soul. So many times we get into relationships or we do something that is, we feel like there's something so wrong because the person, like we don't feel good with the person or, and you know what, the truth is that everything is a learning experience. And even if there's a person that is triggering something in you, I'm not saying that you need to continue to be involved with that person, but the fact is that's just a pointer inside you to tell you, hey, something is off in me and it's triggering something that needs some love. So that's what I wanted to share. I wanted to share about everything as a learning experience, and to be gentle on yourself, and to understand this is all part of a process. There are no mistakes in God's world. Everything, there's no waste either. Everything in your life is valuable. Every single bit of what you might consider a failure could and will be, if you so choose it to be, could be transformed into your greatest asset. And I know this from experience. So anyway, so much love to you. Be gentle on yourself. Learn the lessons. Ask. I say sometimes, God, I don't want to go through this again. Please let me learn the lesson that I need to learn in this. But the only way to do that is to actually be gentle on yourself. And if you've come into the world with parents that have been hypercritical or abuse or anything, or the truth is, the consciousness of the world is that, without forgiveness. So we have to be with forgiveness, and it starts with ourselves. So no matter what mistake, quote unquote mistake, you think that you've made, there's nothing, I just feel like my experience is that there's nothing that can't be healed. And to just go so easy on yourself, because for whatever reason, this is the situation, but beating yourself up is not helpful. There's always going to be something that you can learn from this, and ask, what can I learn from this? What is trying to come through for me? I have a really good friend who's like an empath. She's amazing. She's a healer, and she has a kid who is bringing out characteristics in her that she would rather not deal with. Like, she doesn't want to have to be somebody with discipline, right? Her kid is like kind of really pushing her, and she really needs to make boundaries. Okay, so that's a learning experience. That's not actually a mistake. But what I'm saying is, sometimes there's stuff in us that needs to be worked on that's the opposite of how we would rather be, and that's actually where the learning grows. That's where transformation happens, and that's where the love happens. Because even with her doing that, it's from a place of love. Even from making boundaries come from a place of love. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, but the more that you do something that is uncomfortable, it will become comfortable. So that's my message. I hope that you got something out of that. If you're watching this on Facebook, please like and share if you think somebody could benefit from this message. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And you could always follow me on Instagram at Vered_Siegel, and on Facebook at Vered Siegel. And also you can go onto my website at veredsiegel.com. So much love to you. Make it an amazing day.